It's like Frazier versus Ali, Nadal versus Federer, Woods versus Mickelson. It's the title fight everyone in Hong Kong is talking about between two of the greats of Hong Kong racing, John Moore and John Size. Adam Campton's our guest in the studio, and Adam, we've had so many great battles through the years between the trainers here in Hong Kong. We've got another one this season.
Yeah, exactly right, Ed. It's great to be here and talking about two legendary trainers. John versus John battle. At the start of the season, we probably thought John Size would be an easy winner, but John Moore has all the momentum at the moment. He looks like he's going to be very hard to beat.
Your father trained for quite a while in New South Wales. You worked for Tim Martin in Sydney, so you've got a good idea for what it takes to succeed. What is it about John and John that makes them the trainers that they are, do you think?
I wish I knew. John versus John are two of probably the greatest trainers we've ever seen. John Size, his attention to detail on every horse is truly remarkable, and it's the same as John Moore. They're very patient with their horses. They give them the right foundation. They're just different. They do it properly. They're very good with their jockeys. They get the right jockeys on board, and I think at the end of the day they place their horses to perfection.
John Size knows what it takes to win a title. He's done it 10 times. He's won the last 3. His star's probably been beat the clock, but when you also look at the younger talent that he's brought through, the likes of Country Star, Champions Way now Group 3 winner, Red Warriors won 4 times. He's had a lot of horses who've had their first seasons here who've really made strong contributions.
Exactly right. He'll be thanking them horses too if he can hang on and win the championship. Country Star, he's a good little horse, and also Champions Way, I think he's definitely a horse to keep an eye on next season. He'll probably give John Size plenty more winners next season as well.
John Moore, it's been a remarkable turnaround, hasn't it? From 12th last year to challenging for the title this year.
Truly incredible, but that just goes to show what sort of guy he is. He's put last year to the back of him. He's concentrated on this season. His staff have done a wonderful job, and Beauty Generation's a horse obviously to thank, but he's also unearthed some very, very good young horses, including a Thero. But also he's changed a lot of horses around that he's received off other trainers. He's done a great job, and if he does win the premiership, it's all pats on the back to him.
Yeah, interesting to read in the press this week that nearly 20% of his wins have come from stable transfers. Here's the equation then. We've got 3 meetings left, including Sunday. John Size leading on 74. John Moore breathing down his neck on 72. Seconds are important because John Size has got more of them. On a countback, if they are tied, Size will win on more seconds. So for John Moore, it's not a case of levelling up. He's got to go past John Size.
Yeah, John Moore needs that little bit more. It's incredible that he has trained 75 seconds. He'd probably be hoping that a couple of them did the job, but 74 wins still is an incredible season, 72 for John Moore as well. So John's got some nice horses nominated for the next few races coming up. So all the momentum, as I said before, is in his favour, but you can never write off John Size. He's a freakish trainer.
11 races coming up on Sunday then. Let's go through them. They've both got big teams assembled for the meeting. Starting off with John Size, who's got 8 runners. His day starts with Pinghai Galaxy. He's also got Bond Elegance on the dirt. Door, Dr. Respect, Game Changers is back from a break. Monkey Jewellery second up. Red Desert, dirt for the first time out. And Pickens, also an interesting horse, ran well in a decent enough form race last time out. Who are the ones that John Size is going to head to the races with, hoping to give him the necessary wins?
The list of horses you've just mentioned, there's no real standout, I don't think. Picken, as you said, is a horse consistent, gets better and better with each run. Other than that, I think it is pretty tough. If John Moore trains a couple of early winners, John Size might be hoping that a couple of later horses can get the job done, like Picken. He does have some nice horses in. As you said, Bond Elegance, he's probably rated perfectly at the moment, so he's a definite chance. But I think John Moore's got the better book of horses in.
OK, well, let's go through John Moore's runners for Sunday then. His day starts at the beginning with G Unit up to 1,200 metres in the Griffin race. He's been placed at his 2 runs so far. Winning Circle Whiskey Night run of the Class 5's shoes, and Happy Warrior draws a gate for a change. Magic Success won so well 2 starts ago. Lau Enlightenment's interesting, having his first start. Endearing, Hello Beauty, both chances. What are the better chances though amongst those?
I'd say G Unit's going to be a horse that's going to improve stepping up in trip. Endearing's a consistent horse. He has to be respected from the good gate. Hello Beauty, he's a nice horse, but he has drawn wide. I think that's a bit of a concern. But in saying that, maybe he might be able to get 1 or 2 winners. Shoe Sun is an interesting horse. He didn't appreciate the step up in trip last start, back to the 1,200. I think he could be a sneaky horse.
So after Sunday's meeting, where do you see the equation? Is Moore in front? Is it level? Is Size holding on?
Oh, I think it'll either be John by 1 or John Size by 1 or level. I think John Moore definitely has the better book of horses in on the weekend.
So that's Sunday's meeting at Sha Tin then. We'll look ahead to next week. The entries are already out for Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Final meeting for the season at the City Track. It's going to be an important night for both of them. And some interesting runners starting off with John Size. Tornado Twist back from a bit of a break. And True Grit, he's won his last 4. He's going to try to make it 5 and up to 1,800 metres as well.
Yeah, Tornado Twist is a very interesting horse. I think he's very talented. He still does a little bit wrong. I like that he's had a little bit of a break. He'll definitely be very competitive in that race. True Grit, he's been a remarkable horse. As you said, he's won his last 4. It's never easy for a horse to win 5 in a row, but he looks like a very progressive horse. He does have to take on Tashadelic, which is John Moore's horse. I think that's going to be a really, really good race between them two, and that could be a big telling factor later on in the Trainers' Premiership.
John Moore's also got Sonny Boy, who's lightly raced, tries the Valley for the first time out. He's an interesting runner.
Yeah, I really think he'll enjoy the Valley. His recent trial was very good. He's a nice horse who just goes forward, makes his own luck. He looks like he's progressing good in Hong Kong. He did have a few little issues, but I think his recent trial suggested that he's back on target. And as I said, I think the Happy Valley is a perfect track for him.
Have either of these trainers got other horses, either Wednesday night at Happy Valley or even for the final meeting that we think might be there, that are going to be potential premiership deciders?
I think the ones at the Valley were the main ones we just spoke about. I think John Moore's going to come out with a huge team on the last day. He did have an interesting horse above, Class 5 horse. Should have probably won last start, didn't have much luck. I think he'll go around on the last day. We've also got Good Standing. He trialled recently and trialled very well. As well as Thanks Forever. We all know how good he is. He didn't produce his best last start, but I'm happy to forgive that run because I think the horse is very talented. John Size, hard to know what John's going to do with his horses, but he does have has had a few horses that have trialled. Warlord trialled, an interesting horse. Trialled at Chung Fa recently. And also Nakoni Express, a horse from Queensland. He's had a few runs in Hong Kong. I think his recent break would have done him the world of good. So definitely a couple of horses to keep an eye on. He's
the one for us is also worth noting too. If he runs up to his best like we saw first up from him in even last season, he's going to be a player on that last day.
Spot on. He's a really good horse. Couple of bad barriers. He won well first up. He might have been a little bit flat second up, but happy to forgive that. He's a good horse. Must respect him.
Tough question for you, but who would you be picking for this?
It is a very tough question, as both gentlemen are incredible trainers. I think the momentum's huge, and I think John Moore can just edge out John Size.
OK, well, it's fascinating too. They've both been in this sort of position before. John Size has been run down by Casper Founds a few years ago. John Moore ran down Tony Cruz back at the start of this decade. So fascinating to see what happens. We've spoken about John Size, John Moore extensively because they're the two fighting it out for the title. But honourable mention has to go to Frankie Law, what he's been able to do in his second season.
You're exactly right. Any trainer to do what he has done in his second season's incredible. He's a very, very exciting talent. He's been around horses for a number of years now. Got the opportunity last season, did a remarkable job. Second season, he's added Group 1s to his list and he just keeps getting better and better. I think next season, he could even be the champion trainer next season.
And Zach Purton, we've spoken so much this season about what he's achieved. He might not be able to break Joe Moreira's record for most wins in a season. That's one milestone that might be a bridge too far for him, but he's done everything else from the amount of winners he's ridden to the quality of winners that he's had.
Spot on, Edward. Zach's had a truly sensational year. I don't know if he would have believed that he would have had this year at the start of the season. So he deserves everything that comes his way. He's hard-working. He's a very smart man. He does his homework. I think it's as a racing fan, I've really enjoyed watching him ride throughout this season. But he's just not a talented jockey. He's very smart. The way he rides his races, he deserves everything that comes his way.
He's on 158 wins for the season. It'll be very interesting to see what figure he finishes up on, but he's well and truly got his third jockey's title all parcelled up here. So we might be into the final few meetings here in Hong Kong, but still plenty up for grabs. Make sure you tune into Trackside on Sunday afternoon for live coverage of the 11 race card. It's Members Day at Sha Tin, and the Members Cup is our trophy race. For more on all of this, you can go to the website hkjc.com and also to Twitter. But that's all we've got time for on the show this week. Adam, thanks for your insight. It's going to be a fascinating last few meetings here in Hong Kong.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to see who's going to be crowned the champion trainer of this season. It's definitely going to be a brilliant battle between the two.
Absolutely. So will it be John Size then for an 11th time, or will it be John Moore for an 8th time? So much to play out over these final few meetings. We look forward to your company trackside, and also next week for the season finale of HK Direct. Until then, though, it's goodbye.